Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today it's the man-child. Alright, so today up for review, we got some new Spawn figures in. Finally got the Spawn Plague figure. Yeah, it's cool. Mcfarlane's starting to go outside the old typical Al Simmons character. Put some different Spawn variants out from what I've seen. So this is one of 3 coming out. Now, he was, I think he's in issue Spawn 313, I want to say. I didn't read it, but just doing a little research on him, that's what I came up with. I've never seen him before. I just picked him up and said, thought he was a cool figure, and I collect Spawn. And he's basically a major villain in the Spawn franchise, or like I want to say a prototype of the Hellspawn race. So that's pretty cool. It's just see a different variation of Spawn, instead of, yeah, the old typical Al Simmons figure. Here's a quick look at the back of the box. Got some cool art of Plague Spawn himself, and I think this image came from the variant cover of issue 313. Okay, and here's a quick look around with Spawn Plague out of the box and whatever accessories you get inside. And taking a closer look at our new Spawn Plague, check out that. I love that head sculpt. I love the way the paint's done inside the eyes and the face, right? Looks like, yeah, Hellspawn. Inside of his head's on fire. As far as the articulation, let's see, we can go left to right and go forward and back about that far. Bring it in, you want to check out the closer look on the details, all the sculpting and everything, the paint. It's incredible. So checking out the details and articulation on the chest and ab area, pretty neat. Seems like a very typical Spawn biosuit or necroplasm suit. Got a lot of spines and very rough though, where the regular Spawn, Al Simmons suit is very smooth. Got that V, that V-notch kind of thing that the Spawn suit's known for, but now instead of a white, it's almost like he's skinned, or that's his insides, pretty neat, or lava or something. Yeah, I also like that this figure's all black with gray highlights, so it kind of gives me a little bit of a Venom vibe, sort of, So maybe that's what Mcfarlane was sort of going for with this character, because obviously, he was a major creator of Venom. But with the articulation, right, so we can go left to right, forward and back. We also have articulation at the down at the waist area too, same thing, go forward and back, left to right. But of course, when you start, messing around, moving all these positions, you're going to break this part of that aesthetic on the suit, one of those things. But beside that, it's awesome you have all our articulation on the chest and stomach area. Moving on to the arms, all the newer Spawn figures really has excellent articulation on the arms because he has like double hinge joints now. Well, we can go up and down, forward and back. Has an extra piece here to hide the gap, to fill it in because it allows that better articulation. Without it, you'd have big goofy gaps like some figures have out there. Even on the arm, all the different spines and spikes, again, all black with some gray highlights there like the rest of the body. This thing too is all very soft, all these little spines and stuff. Okay, you can see the pins there, and then moving on to the hands. Now it comes with 2 different sets of hands, but these hands are awesome. There's big claws like that, and they got a little, kind of a, sort of like a ball hinge joint. And these you got to be careful of, because I've had these pop apart. It's not a typical ball joint. It splits there, but I've seen these fall out, and they go right back in, but just kind of giving you a warning if you're not familiar with these newer Spawn figures. I've had those issues. You can also spin at the wrist as well as part of articulation. The fingers have no articulation whatsoever, but they are kind of sharp and hard. They're not as soft as these spikes on the arm, but they are really awesome looking. Check that out. All the details on the back, right in front. And the left side, as far as the articulation, is all the same. The hand is always different on the side as far as the sculpting. It's kind of in a trigger finger position. Has a little more, some of the different spines on the outer part of the hand than this side does. And these fingers are closed, so it ain't like you could put like a staff or something through there. It's just, I don't know if it's intended to hold the gun or what the idea it is. So I guess he's a left-hand shooter, but just showing you the difference between this left hand and the right. And spinning around to the back, check out all these, yeah, necroplasm effects or something, or just spines. Really cool. Now they are soft. They don't seem to come off. It's all part of the sculpting. Black with gray, washing it. Some more detail in back of the head there. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this alone is cool. And moving on to the legs. So as far as yeah, just typical sculpting, ridges and bumps. Very similar to the rest of the suit. Again, all black, gray wash. Pretty much go out with a full split like this. So you can go all the way forward like a front kick, and can't go, that's as far as the whole leg can go back because of all the aesthetics back here. Now he can bend about this far at the knee, like a double hinge joint in there. You can see the pins. Has also real soft spines on the leg here, very similar to the forearm. And both sides look exactly the same. The articulation's the same, more or less. And I don't know, can't really You can rock a little bit, not much. And you can't spin at the knee. And okay, so the foot, so he also has this strange split ball joint like the wrists. And these become very loose, by the way, after a while. So I use those metal Kaiser stands on most of these figures. But with the articulation, the foot can go all the way up, all the way back. Can spin left to right. And then he also has, and you can see some detail on the pointed toe there. And then the toe can also go up. It's got articulation to toe. And yeah, both sides are exactly the same. So moving on to accessories, he also comes with an alternative pair of hands, a shorter version without the elongated claws, so it's cool you get those. And you also get two different style bases. You get the typical Spawn, the flat base with the peg that goes in the feet, which I don't usually use, but check out that skull base. That's awesome. It's got a peg here for the foot, helping balance. Very similar to the Haunt figure. Came with something like this. And moving back onto the hands, so I'm going to change the left and right side out. Okay, I just want to see how they come out, what the pegs look like, how we, sometimes you just get stuck. All right, so there's your pegs like that with those hands off. And I'll pop the other two hands on like so. I already put one on. Went in okay. Had to mess. These are really loose when you see, because that split joint. It's kind of difficult sometimes to put these hands on. But all right, that didn't go on too bad. So they pop in like that. And getting back to this cool looking base, again, serves as a figure stand, serves as a peg, and of course you got holes on both feet. Doesn't really matter which side you kind of plug them into. If you put them onto the left side of the leg, it'll probably help balance them better. But if you want to snap it onto the right side, it will show more of the base, so it's not covered up by his leg. So we're gonna pop it in like on this side, see what that looks like. And here's a quick look with Plague Spawn plugged into the skull base on the right side. And of course we have the two alternative hands on. And then I just changed it up and I just plugged the skull base into the left side and put the bigger hands back on so you can check that out. Now, yeah, it looks cool too and it does help balance them. But again, here's the issue with, like I said earlier, look how loose and sloppy that is. It's like, it's not, after a while, depending on how you position them, see, he falls forward and back. I don't really like these joints, and I got to wind up using the metal Kaiser stands on these figures. So I'm just kind of giving you fair warning. Might vary figure to figure, but I have this issue with a lot of newer Spawn figures when it comes with these bases or those little round ones. Okay, so that's pretty much my review on the new Spawn Plague figure. Yeah, I think he's awesome. Just what a unique looking Spawn, just to add to your Spawn collection or something different. Sculpting's awesome. I like the paint. The articulation works well. My biggest gripe, I would say, is a problem in the split ball joints in the ankles. He constantly falls over in mine if I don't position him right. The skull base is really neat. It more or less, depending on what leg, does hold him up okay, but after a while mine falls. So my answer is these metal Kaiser stands. You see, I've mentioned these so many times on my channel. I put them on everything, and then your figures never fall again. I get them on eBay. But beside that, yeah, incredible Spawn figure. He's in stock right now on Amazon.com and in Mcfarlane Toy Store. So if you think he's cool and you want something new to your Spawn collection, go pick him up. I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, take care.